Welcome, everybody. Or Tsegofatso, maybe you want to share. I've seen your face a couple of times this week. Or Tepo says he has a problem with the microphone. Tshego, what has been your experience like this week?
Am I audible?
You are very audible, my sister.
Great stuff. This has been such a huge experience and an opportunity to learn. And my biggest lesson was from Yoke yesterday. Oh my word, now he revealed it all. You know, sometimes you think that you are an entrepreneur and there's certain things that you know, but I've just learned that you can never know everything. And each day there is always something to learn. So it's been a learning curve. It's been a wonderful journey. And I'm sad that it's actually, coming to an end for now. But I've thoroughly enjoyed the lessons.
Wow, that is incredible. Sure. And you know what else, Tsego? I want to echo your sentiments. I mean, yesterday's session, I was repeating that York is such an authentic guy. He's so real. One of the key takeouts for me personally yesterday was when he said we should share our businesses, what we do, what are we selling with 5 friends. And if you cannot explain, yes.
You know what? I've been one of those people that felt it's mine. Like delegating, it's a problem because I feel, when you are a perfectionist, now you feel that nobody can just do it the way you want to do it. But at the end of the day, you just overwhelm yourself and you don't get anything done because there's just so much on your plate. And this thing of collaboration and just being able to share your business and tell people about it, it's sometimes we take, for granted how we can actually go further by just doing that. You'll find somebody who will actually offer their services, but because you don't share anything, you don't get those services, or you end up paying for those services.
That's exactly what you said. He said 3 things: share what you're working on, become vulnerable and share what you are struggling with. And thirdly, share what you are looking for. There's opportunities in that. There's opportunities for partnership, collaboration, and growth. So thank you so much for sharing your experiences. Are you going to be pitching? Because that is the crux of why
Victoria.
Oh no!
I know, right?
Oh goodness! And with that energy, I really would have loved to see your pitch. But thank you so much, Tsego. Is there anyone in the room this morning who is particularly from Limpopo or Mpumalanga who is saying, "Look, I'm ready. I'm ready to pitch. Come hell or high water, my business is ready. I'm going to pitch." Do we have anyone like that here?
Sandra, you are in Mpumalanga, isn't it?
I am, sir. I am.
How come we haven't seen your pitch?
It is coming. It will be up and on before 4 p.m.
Sikumbuzo.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning. Okay, when are you submitting your pitch?
I'm sure during the meeting I'll submit my pitch. But I'm okay.
Okay, great. Who else do we have here?
I'm ready.
All right. Nompu Melelo. I'm going to call.
Yes, I like
you.
That.
I'm going to call you guys out. At least there's a few of us here, so we can have a one-on-one interaction, which is good for.
I like that.
Okay, maybe we should go to Matema. I saw your pitch. I saw. There is Matema. Awesome.
Yes, I'm so ready. And you know what I learned? Just yesterday, I missed lessons, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I hope I'll get it on the YouTube.
Yeah, yes. Sure, definitely.
My highlight are based more on the digital marketing with Seslebo.
Oh, I
yes.
See
yes. So I think we with my business, I I didn't believe in, in digital marketing until I got those lessons that we are losing so much. We are losing without using the digital marketing. So that is our focus area for us to go to another level.
Absolutely, because that's how you can get to other markets, beyond your immediate community.
Exactly. And I already got two customers just with my pitch.
Are you serious?
They ordered some glasses that you are doing, like these ones.
So you mean when you submitted your pitch yesterday?
Yes, yesterday. So I got two people who ordered. They need 6 glasses, 12 glasses actually, each one 6.
From seeing your pitch?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow. You know what?
So I'm so excited. Digital marketing is the way to go.
Wow. This is I don't know. I'm short of words.
It's out of this world. It's out of this world. Sam, I think what we should do is the lady's name is Mate Mane.
Yes.
Matima, I think maybe you will be better positioned to just share a word of wisdom with everyone who is joining us this morning, to say, guys, go out there. Please, in 1 minute, give them that encouragement, because it looks like they need a boost.
I'm so excited. I'm so speechless. Anyway, good people, I just want to thank this opportunity with 67 CEOs. So this is the way to go, guys. And the digital marketing tools is the way to go. Let's market our business digitally. So because we're going to get customers even overseas, you never know, we will be importing and exporting.
Thank you very much, Matema, for that. And by the way, guys, Matema, she was one of the winners during the Mega Pitch Fest, the 67 CEOs COVID-19 relief fund that we did in June, July. So she was one of the winners also. Okay, Marang is back. Between the time you were off and rejoined us, guess what? Someone validated your points that we had earlier before we admitted the delegate. Someone validated your point, Matema, to be specific. She posted a pitch yesterday, and guess what? 2 people bought our product just by our submitting our pitch, which validated the point earlier again of this session that when you submit your pitch, you are not just submitting it to 67 CEOs so that they can adjudicate and see if you're going to win the prize or not, but it's also a marketing tool for you and your business.
Absolutely, Sam. I'm so grateful. Madima, well done. Congratulations on getting that out there. And thank you so much, especially for validating the need to actually put your business out there, right? The pitch isn't just about entering the competition and winning the money, guys. It really is a good marketing tool. It will really help you also get over some of the anxieties around pitching, around putting your face out there, around getting customers. A lot of the times we think we're not salespeople. We keep telling, I don't know how many times, and you can please actually raise your hands if you don't believe you're a salesperson. Let's see, right? Just raise your hand in the just, when you do your hand raising, when we give you a chance to speak, just use that icon to raise your hand and show if you don't believe you're a salesperson. I want to see who is struggling with that concept of I'm not a salesperson. Any hands? I'm not seeing any hands in the chat box. I'm not seeing any hands from the participants. So I can assume everybody is comfortable as a salesperson. Okay, I'm going to take that as an affirmed yes, actually, because nobody has even hesitated here to then since raise their hands or after I've asked it twice. I'm going to share a personal story with you guys. In fact, 2. One is around the value of networking, the value of being in such of these kind of forums and what it has done for me. Two, the second story will be about how we manage our limiting beliefs. So a few years ago, I was part of, in fact, I was part of an accelerator program. This was about 3-4 years ago. I had joined this accelerator program specifically to understand how corporates are running their particular programs. Yes, I needed the help, but I was more so there just to understand how corporates work with this. And eventually it started my path in terms of how I work with corporates in terms of developing entrepreneurship in the country. But I joined this group and I met a group of 25 women from this program. Only women, each doing different types of businesses from what I do. But outside of that particular program, we then decided that we would meet on a monthly basis. And when we met on a monthly basis, we'd actually book a room, right? In a hotel or whatever. We'd book a meeting room. And then we would sit there and go through our different businesses. We eventually made it a formal accountability circle. And when we met, we were talking about 3 things. One, it was about our achievements. So we are firm believers in celebrating the small wins. Why? Because it builds our confidence and you realize the progress that you're making. Sometimes we're just in the rut of building our businesses. We don't see that we are making some sort of achievement or progress, right? You look at things and they look at somewhat bleak and you forget that actually you've won to even make it this far. Then 2, we would discuss our challenges and the possible solutions to those particular challenges, because there's no point in just talking about challenges without adding on solutions. You are then just complaining. And then 3, we would then talk at sales targets. How much money do you need to make this month? And how do we help you reach that target? That was the specific question that we were asking, right? And this is happening to me at a time when I was hearing a big echo. You know that echo in your bank balance, such that when they're even coming for the debit order, the bank account is just like, you think you're here for things when you're not going to get anything. I don't know if you can identify with that feeling when your bank account, right? But from having these monthly meetings and having this accountability circle, people understood my business so well. I understood other people's businesses quite well. But not only did I just know it, it enabled me to mark even their businesses. So each time I would hear somebody say, hey, I'm struggling with social media, I've got a friend in my circle that I'm referring to. Each time they were hearing people struggling about business processes and stuff like that, they were referring the business to me. In that 6-month period, or rather in a 6-month period, with that group of 25 women, I made 80,000 rands purely from referrals that came from those women. I'm telling you this so that you understand that when we're meeting in these kind of forums, your network is not necessarily just about trying to sell to people, but your network is going to be a team of sales and marketing people on your behalf. If people understand your business, not just what you do, but when they understand your challenges, and I think York emphasized on this again yesterday, when people know your challenges, where they know what you do, it's easier for them to even market in order to help you solve those challenges, right? And I want you to be intentful, even in your engagements with people, as to how you are going to then leverage from this particular network. That's my one story. So when your bank account is making echoes and stuff like that, it's purely because you're not leveraging on your network. The second story I want to share is specifically around our limiting beliefs. I I know it's not the easiest thing to do to record yourself and put yourself in a public space. For those of you that have never engaged with me before or might not know, I've been doing public speaking now for the past 6 years. And as much as I am a public speaker and people will see me on stage and say, wow, she's so confident. Wow, she does this. Oh my God, I can't believe she's got the guts to even speak on a stage. Some people ask me, don't you feel like the ground is going to swallow you? The ground does feel, when I'm on stage, it does sometimes feel like the ground is going to swallow me. There have been stages where I wish the ground would actually swallow me, but guess what? I'm still here. So clearly the ground hasn't swallowed me. But what I've learned to do over the years is to interrogate my limiting beliefs. So the things that I say, I'm not a salesperson. I don't do this. I don't do this. Why do I believe those things about myself, right? And that's how you start interrogating those things. Do I believe them because somebody said something to me? Do I believe it because I did a mistake somewhere along the line and it maybe discouraged me? Those things happen over and over again. And just more recently, in fact, during this lockdown period, I found out that a business partner screwed me over badly, right? It really shook me. It really left me quite despondent. But at the end of the day, I've had to just say, you know what? It doesn't define me, and have to pick myself up. So here's a tool that I started using a few years ago. In fact, maybe 5-6 years. I write a letter to myself, probably every 6 months now. It used to be every year, but now it's probably every 6 months. But I write this letter, and it's titled A Letter to My Younger Self. In that letter, I explain to my younger self, and I forgive myself for those particular mistakes and believing the things that held me back. When you feel you're not enough, when you feel you're not a salesperson, when you feel things are not going right, I have to write that letter in order for me to shed the weight that makes me believe those things that are actually holding me back. And I use this, like I say, look, it used to be every year, but now it's every 6 months. And it's 6 months because there's a lot of things that are happening in my world, and it just becomes hectic. And the fewer things that are making me question myself or feel a bit discouraged, as they reduce, then probably, it's back down to, it will probably be less often or more often. I don't know which way it will go, but it's a tool that has helped me quite a lot. But then in order to support that tool, I also have a sticker on my mirror. And that sticker on my mirror, every single morning, I have to look at it when I brush my teeth, that says, how are you going to make 20K today? And it puts me in that mindset that just says, forget everything that happened yesterday. Let's worry about how are you going to make 20K today? Just 20K today. And I don't have to close business worth of 20K, but I have to have conversations that will lead me to getting that 20K, at least as a bare minimum. Those are just my 2 stories. I hope in it that you will realize that you have to, you can't do it alone. And B, we all have fears, but those fears are only real if you're going to let them govern your life. Otherwise, you have to offload. Right. So my sermon is over. Let's get to business, right?
Thank you
Let's
very
get to
much
business. We are going to focus. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the encouragement. And I hope the entrepreneurs get to understand that fear can be there, but you just have to do it. And that's what entrepreneurs are made of. I mean, to make reference to York again, he said entrepreneurs are neither born nor made, they are panabitten. And you just have to panabit yourself through the fear and just do it, and just do it.
Yeah, we
thank you
actually
so
have
much.
to just do it. I actually enjoyed a lot of what York was saying, because it is really, if you're doing even half the things that York was talking about yesterday, you will see so much progress in your business. It is unbelievable. Yes. Unbelievable. And Matima, I think, was a great example of that. Really put your pitch out there, and there you've got it. You wake up to a sale. So we really have to do that. Refula, you wanted to say something, my dear. Sorry, I cut you.
Yes, no, I actually was agreeing with what he was saying. I also had a very insightful yesterday. Because he did say, ask your people, anyone that you know, what you do for a living. And I posted that on all my social media. To my amazement, people don't actually know what I'm doing.
Wow.
So I think
People don't.
yeah, some people think I'm a
Wow.
model, and some people think, oh, you're creative, but we don't know what creative. So I was like, actually, it was a wake-up call. I was like, I haven't been marketing design properly, clearly. So
But it's back
yes.
to what Yoko was saying about if your content is going to be about you, your selfies, and it's going to be about your Hunter's Dry weekends and what. This is what people know you for. That's what they know you for. They don't know your business and will never understand what you do. To this day, my mother still introduces me as a businesswoman. She doesn't know what I do. Right? She still says businesswoman without it. But thanks for sharing that. But it's a good exercise. I'm glad you did put into action what you have learned, because I think it was Sam that said it about 2 days ago. If you don't put things that you learn into action, it falls flat. It's over.
It evaporates.
It's a waste of time. Yeah, it evaporates. Onika, you want to say something, my dear?
Yes. Okay, I can relate to the feel. Yo. I asked that question and nobody answered it. Hey.
Yeah, guys, do the homework.
I can relate
this
to
is
that
potentially
question.
why you're not selling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You only sell to your client.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yep. Okay, guys, let's get the ball rolling. Let us get more and more pitch videos coming through. Today is the final day for you to submit your videos. Please, when you do submit the videos, make sure you are tagging 67 CEOs so that we can see it. If not, it is just going to potentially just be in the space and we won't be able to acknowledge it as part of the competition. Make sure you tag 67 CEOs. Make sure you use the hashtags 67 CEOs GEW 2020, hashtag powering possibility. I still see Mahlodi going, hashtag. So this video is now ingrained in my head. I am hoping to see more and more videos. I hope that when the panel of judges is sitting tomorrow, they are going to see really innovative businesses, really creative entrepreneurs, very confident people coming out to say, I am here to make it, right? No maganjan. Like we actually have to have that attitude that just says, my hunger is really leading me to fight with everything I got to make this possible. Right. Sam, are we ready to start with our fireside chat?
Yes, we are.
People that have won the competition before. I mean, if you ever look at these kind of communities like a 67 CEOs and think these people are just out there to host events, they do nothing. This is just, people sitting in a room or people sitting in webinars just talking stuff and it doesn't create any impact. This fireside chat will change your perspective on exactly that. We're talking to people that have been part of 67 CEOs, who've experienced the mentoring, who've submitted a pitch, who have been through the journey and have really, really put things into effect. We're going to hear from them so that you can understand the impact that 67 CEOs has on building entrepreneurs and how this partnership with Exaro has really just catapulted some entrepreneurs' lives. Sam, I'm going to hand over to you and our speakers for the day with the fireside chat so we get to know what you guys have been doing. I mean, I've seen your journey for the past couple of years and growing from strength to strength. So I'm quite excited to hear from these entrepreneurs. I get to see them when we're at events and I don't... then you don't see their stories. And then it's nice to hear that actually this story is so much bigger than a one-day event because life continued and they continue to thrive beyond that point. So Sam, over to you.
Thank you so much, Marang. And I want to use this opportunity to welcome all the entrepreneurs once again. Thank you for joining us. So I'm going to be having conversation. Francima, please, you can lower your hand. We'll take your question or your contributions later. Please lower your hand for now. And if you may, put off your video also for now. So 67 CEOs started in 2017, and part of the challenges that we identified then and that we're trying to solve is the issue of mentorship and network for entrepreneurs. To some extent, we've been able to do that successfully, if I may. So we launched in 2017 and officially registered or constituted in 2018. And part of the things that we've been doing is connecting SMME owners to opportunities that are within the enterprise development space. And part of our flagship programs are the Mandela Day. So we do programs on Mandela Day. We did one in 2017. We did another in 2018. And alongside that is the Global Entrepreneurship Week. So we would do Mandela Day program in July, which is relatively the middle of the month, of the year rather. And we would also do the Global Entrepreneurship Week in November. And so during the programs, we would allow entrepreneurs, like we're having conversation right now, we would allow entrepreneurs to have conversations with the speakers and CEOs that would attend to teach them one or two things. And over and above that is the speed mentoring. We would do speed mentoring after the panel discussions, keynote speech, master classes. We would do master class on financial management, master class on personal development. So our programs, what I'm saying is our programs are educational. I am the privileged convener, and I have my other small businesses. And I know what it means to be a small business. I know what it means not to have funding. I know what it means not to have access to market. I know what it means not to have access to network, not to have access to mentors. And this experience or challenges that I had in the process of my business development are some of the things that I thought, instead of me just going out there and look for solutions for myself, I can as well create a community where we gather industry leaders and business entrepreneurs to be able to mentor small or young entrepreneurs. And that's how we got here. And Exaro Resources, as our partner for Global Entrepreneurship Week 2020, they've been our partner since 2018. And it has truly been a great honor working with such organization because they see value in what we are doing. And I hope that the entrepreneurs that are with us virtually today also are they see the value and they can attest to the value that 67 CEOs as an organization is delivering in the development of small business ecosystem. We've been operating in South Africa and the boundary of South Africa for the past 3 years. However, we going into 2021, we believe that 67 CEOs as a model that we can take to the rest of African countries. So when you see 67 CEOs Africa, going into other African nations or countries know that we are extending our impact. And over and above the programs or events that I've mentioned, what we also do is the mentorship of entrepreneurs. And how we do that is we connect small business owners to CEOs of different organizations to mentor and to coach them. Where the CEO or the mentor cannot engage in the mentorship, what they do is they sponsor the mentorship program. And 67 CEOs would then engage with certified business mentors or experienced business development coaches. We will then bring them on board as service providers. They would then mentor the entrepreneurs or small business owners for 6 months. Our mentorship programs are for 6 months. And the sponsor in this case would be a CEO, would then be monitoring the program and then stand as a coach. And we officially launched that model this year, 2020, even in the midst of the corona virus outbreak. And we launched officially in August, and we have 2 entrepreneurs that we are currently mentoring, and it has been a very impactful program. So having said that, I've got going to be having conversations with both of them, Katu from Smooth Life Africa and Kolani from Relish Music. So I'm going to introduce you briefly, but you would also have the opportunity to introduce yourself, your journey, and all of that. So Katu, most of you now know Katu because, he's been a great salesperson. Katu has been, taking opportunity of the platform to put his business out there and to, potentially make sales. And that talks about his understanding of some of the things that are required to be a successful small business owners. Is one of the co-founders. Katu is one of the co-founders of Smooth Life Africa. His co-founder's name is Tabo, and Smooth Life Africa was the winner of 67 CEOs Global Entrepreneurship with 2019 75,000 rand. So they pitch. Obviously, we gathered in person in 2019. They pitched their business, and they were part of the winners and the topmost winner, as it were. So they won 75. So Katu is going to tell us, some of the things that they were able to do with the grant funding that they won in 2019. I mentioned to the audience about 67 CEOs mentorship program. Kolani is the founder of Relish Music. He is one of the beneficiaries of the 67 CEOs mentorship program. We've been mentoring Kolani, and Lakaonolo is the second entrepreneur. We've been mentoring both of them since August. And we're going to hear part of the knowledge and skills that have been transferred to Kolani so that we see the effectiveness of the mentorship program. Guys, thank you very much for joining me. So, Katu, you can switch on your microphone now, and let me start with you. I would want you to tell us about yourself, tell us about your career development, and then how you got to start Smooth Life. If there are other businesses that you've done before Smooth Life, let us know. Did you fail in them? Did you succeed in them? So tell us about yourself, basically. Then after you're done, we'll then go to Polani.
Thank you, Sam. Good to see you once again.
Thank you.
And good morning to everyone at 67 CEO, people all over the country, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, Gauteng, all over the provinces. Once again, thank you, 67 CEO. I mean, it has been quite a journey since we won the 75,000 rand. But like you asked, I'll just start by just briefing you guys about myself, about who I am, where I have been, where I come from. I mean, I was born in Limpopo. That's where I come from. Grew up there, matriculated there in Venda. Then came to Gauteng in around 2008. So I've been here for a few years, went to college, then until I got a job. And then I once ventured into a property business, and I failed big time. I lost money there, and there was a time I went 4 months with no tenants. It was the hardest part of my life. I was broke. And then I sold the property because it didn't make sense for me to keep something that really wasn't giving me anything. And then in 2017, my brother called me in the morning. He just said, you know what, I've got this brilliant idea that I want to share with you. And then we met up. Then he introduced the smoothies to me. He said, you know what, these are the smoothies. I made these things, and I think I want us to come together and maybe start this business. I was like, I'm not too sure. I mean, I think I'm not a great businessman, I've failed, I've made bad decisions, I've been broke. So, hey, this is another chance to get broke or broker, if I can put it that way. Then he was like, no, maybe you should try the products. What I can tell you, our first products were horrible. Honestly speaking, the taste was bad. They had too much garlic. I mean, they were sour, they were bitter. But I mean, we all start somewhere, right? And then that's how then we started producing, we started blending, we started selling. I mean, the thing is, what I've learned was, you know what, for as long as you start something in life and you sell it, there will always be someone willing to buy it. Even though the taste wasn't that great, but we were making sales. I mean, we were using the bottles that we were using, they were not even branded. But people were buying. Our bottles were not even cute. They were just normal bottles. People were buying. So it just shows how if you start something, there will always be that one person, 5 people who will buy your product. There's always someone out there who's willing to say yes to your idea. So then we worked on the packaging till we improved our packaging. We worked with SAPS. They helped us with the branding. And then, I mean, I work full time, but I always make sure whenever I get free time, it's smooth lifetime. Lunchtime, it's smooth life time. After work, it's smooth life time. So weekend, it's smooth life. So we contributed like hours into this baby. Then we managed to improve our logo, our branding, our packaging. And then actually what I do at Smooth Life, it's production. So I started working on a better ingredient because remember, as like a small business owner, you rely on customers' feedback. So my customers were complaining about the taste, saying, "Okay, it's nice, but I feel that it's a bit bitter. Like, what can I do to maybe improve the taste?" Then and the colors, it like you're selling a green smoothie, but it's not that green. Doesn't look green. Then, but we are saying we don't need to add colorants. Then I fooled around with the blenders. I'm sure my neighbors were complaining because there is this guy 8 p.m. is running a blender. Then up until I found the right combination, then it tasted good.
No, I get what you're saying, and we're going to come back to how you were able to perfect your business model and your product through iteration and customer feedback, because that is a very successful startup or lean-in business principle. We're going to come back to that and unpack it very well. And thank you for sharing your story. That was very inspiring. And it is great to know that you failed in one particular business or the other, because again, that is the kind of entrepreneur that, or entrepreneurs that people want to truly invest in, somebody that has failed or lost money before. So please mute your microphone while I go to Kolani. Kolani, you can switch on your microphone. Tell us your background and how you get to start your business. Why business? Why not working for somebody? And tell us your life story, and let's hear you. Then we'll get to how you get to know about 67 CEOs as an organization.
Hi, everyone. This is Tolani Kungwayo. I'm a founder of Relish Music World. I was born and raised here in Gauteng. And then I went to my primary classes were at Mzamo Primary School. And then later on, I went to Albertine for senior classes where I was doing grade 8 up until 12. After grade 12, there's been ups and downs here and there, but everything went smooth. It was just me, my mom, and my sister. I didn't have a dad. Yes, I knew he was, but we were not that close because they were separated, my mom's and him. So after that time, I then had a bad luck for a few years. Because as I was growing up, if I'm in grade 8, when the teacher would ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? This year I would say, no, I want to do IT. And then the following year, there would be a new term, which we already new to it. Would be like, no, I want to do electrical engineering. The following year, you want to do something else. So I've always been all over the place each year. And then I saw this course on the net from Soul Candy's Institute of Music. I went there as well. I did sound music. I did sound production. I did music theory. I also did sound engineering there. I was in the same class as your DJ Zintle. We were 2 generations ahead of DJ Shimza and the Romanyelos. So we graduated afterwards. And hence we were there, we all thought that now we were going to be signed under some big record label. But then unfortunately they took Shimza as well as the other guys. And so they had to let most of us go and do our own things. And then throughout that process, I sort of like thought, now, okay, fine. I'm just gonna continue doing my demos, maybe Galo or maybe Universe or other dependent companies out there would spot me, and then I'd get to produce music under them. But then it did not happen. Years went by. I then thought, now, okay, it's cool. Let me just start my own recording studio. Okay, fine. I did that, and then I was doing well, but I needed to get cash in between. And that was when I thought, no, let me also produce other artists around the area so that I also like maintain myself. And now the huge problem is I was running like a spicer shop, because at the back of my there'll come time whereby like I'm gonna be spotted, and then I'm gonna get to work with bigger guys somewhere out there. It was in 2011 when I decided to start my own Smolanyana production company, of which I was doing well. But now the problem is I didn't know that this is a business. I just thought, no, okay, find someone who's going to come and record and then pay me and then go home, and then the next person comes the following day. I was not running it like as a business to per se. And years went by as well. And still like we were not being recognized, because the industry changes every time. I remember back in the early 20s, you had to do a demo and then you submit it to these other recording companies. They listen to your demo, but that has changed. Now they no longer take demos. They prefer someone who's already making a name from them. If you're already like your music is being played on air, on TV, chances are that's when they get to sign you, because they could see that there is a movement, there is something they can invest on, rather than just taking you as you are an unknown artist and then try to put you on. It's too much work from them. And so since like that has changed, it became so harder for most artists out there. It became so harder. And as I was doing that throughout the years, I also realized that, no, man, we're not getting anywhere. And then I was inspired to just start my own thing again and have a company, which is Relish Music World. But our value proposition currently is to record upcoming artists as well as upcoming DJs and have their final product. But we look in the near future, we're looking to release their music. We're looking to establish artists. We're looking to put artists on the map. We're looking to compete up against the bigger labels, even though we are independent recording labels.
Wow, that's a very,
together, Sam and everyone.
Yes, you can hear you. That's a very, very inspiring story, and thank you for sharing. Now, I'll start with you. I'll continue with you, rather, Olani. How did you get to hear about 67 CEOs?
The other day, I said, God, I do not know what I'm doing. And I asked God to just lead the way. And then one day throughout, I was doing my Facebook update and stuff like that. And then I came across a poster on the social media. And then from there, I was introduced to CEO. I remember it was early this year, if correct, last year in November or so. And so there was this fire chat with Dr. Snowy. And then I thought, okay, cool. Let me just apply, because like I don't know what I'm doing. I need to be around people who are well established in this industry, even though like we're doing separate things, but I could take some of the things that we're going to talk about over there. So like I applied, and then from there I attended that. It was so powerful. I remember when I left, I was so inspired in a sense that I felt now I'm in a right path now. And then from there, you guys put me on the program, of which it was good because remember, there are two things here. I'm just a producer, and I'm a very good producer and DJ. I know what I'm doing in the studio, but on the business side of it, I was lacking big time. And so when this opportunity arrived, I took it with both hands because I realized that definitely I'm not a business guy. I'm a DJ, I'm a producer. So to actually balance the whole thing, I needed to do this more than ever. That's why like I felt, now let me just take this seriously and go all out and see the outcomes. And yeah, it's doing well so far.
So again, you are part of the 67 CEOs mentorship program. Katu, take us through that process of iteration, or let's start with ideation. You know, your brother gave you the idea, you accepted it, and you said, you know, let's try it out. And you produce your first smoothie. Like you said, it was bad. Even yourself, you couldn't. Interestingly, even yourself, you couldn't consume your own products, you know.
Yes.
However, you did not give up. You put it out there. People tried it. They gave you feedback. You take in their feedback. You use the feedback to improve the products. And today, you are established, as it were. Take us through that journey. Most importantly, the kind of feedback you were getting and how you were taking in the feedback. And the reason why I'm focusing on the customers' feedback is because for most entrepreneurs, they are fixated on their idea. And when customers are saying, these are the people that are going to pay you. Obviously, you can't pay yourself for your own products. I mean, you can only pay yourself so much, even if you want to. But customers are giving you feedback. You're not taking the feedback. You just stick to what you want to do because, again, it is your baby. So, again, please take us through that process of getting customers' feedback and how you get to improve on your products.
Thank you, Sam. I would say, I mean, it's not nice when you're selling something, and I mean, we all want to hear good things. We all want like people to always tell us the nice things. But I mean, I appreciate all the negative feedback that we got from our customers, because if the customers, they complained about the taste, then we picked that up. We need to work on the taste. They complained about the packaging. Then that's how we got to work on the packaging. And then they complained about the color. But because our own, like what set us apart is our products, we don't add coloring. That's when it was like, no, we won't add colorants. We just have to find right combinations. If we say this is a green smoothie, we need it to look as green as possible. So, I mean, it was color, it was taste, it was packaging. And then there are all others who complained about the pricing, and then we worked on the pricing also. So each and every feedback that we got, we used it to work on our advantage.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that.
I mean, there was a time when we made the smoothies, then my co-founder delivered them, and then the customer took a sip, and then he was like, "Oh, I think they are off. They don't taste like the ones I had before." I mean, you want to convince your customer that I'm giving you a quality product. They said, no, you can, no, it's not off.
Test it yourself.
We just made it yesterday or days before. Then he was like, no, man, this is off. But anyway, he took it, went home and drank it. And then when that's my brother, when he got home, he was like, no, man, let me try those smoothies. And then he was like, no, I think that guy is right. It's off. Then he had to call him and apologize. But you know what? Your customers
the right
won't
thing
run
to
away.
do.
And then we delivered the fresh ones for free. So that's when we learned on how to package them after producing, so that they are not gonna go off. Or during summer, this is how sensitive our products are to heat, unlike during winter. So we learned. Yeah, that's how we continue learning.
And Katu, that is the case because you don't add preservative to your product, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You don't add preservative to them. So the lifespan of the smoothie is relatively shorter. However, you needed to educate the client on natural preservation, or how they can keep the product and have it for longer. Now, how did you get to hear about 67 CEOs?
Networking helps. Going out there, talking to people, because Smooth Life has really afforded us an opportunity to network with a lot of people. So there was just someone who said, no, actually, you guys, there is this organization, 67 CEO. They are going to be hosting the function last year. Then that's when we got our business registered, through word of mouth. So it just shows you the power of networking. You never know who you're going to meet. Yes.
Okay, so you registered for 67 CEOs Global Entrepreneurship in 2019, and you participated in the programs, and this happened in Centurion, by the way, for 2 days. You participated in the programs, you were selected as part of you were shortlisted as part of those that were going to pitch. Take us through the process of preparing for the pitch. What are some of the emotions you were going through, and how did it feel standing in front of people, pitching your business? Take us through that experience and up to when, because you had to pitch for 2 days, and up to when you were then selected on the third day, if I'm correct.
When I heard that I will have to pitch, I was like, no, maybe Tavo can pitch. Tavo is one of the co-founders. Like, maybe I think he's used to it than I am. I was scared. But I went on YouTube, watched, you guys gave us 3 minutes. I was like, how am I going to, I have never done this before. So I was nervous, but I went to YouTube, watched a lot of videos, how to pitch in 3 minutes, took notes. Then I was standing in front of my mirror, imagining myself in front of the crowd. Then I clocked myself. Say, okay, let me try to do this. And then, as you know, English was running out every now and then, my English data. But I kept trying, and then up until I felt a bit confident. And Tavo also assisted me, said, you know what, you can do this. I then called my mom, said, hey, I've got this coming up. And then, sometimes prayer works. We prayed. She just said, you know what, I believe you can do this. I'm going to pray for you. I believe you are going to nail it. And the day we were called to the first pitch, I was shaking. I was shaking because I wasn't sure if I'm going to be able to do this. But I ended up doing it in less than 3 minutes, the first speech.
And after the first speech?
And then when we were shortlisted, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I can't believe that they believe I'm good. And then we went for the second one, and then Tao said, no, you go for this one also. I think the second one was for 25,000.
Yes.
And the crowd was bigger then in that hall. It was bigger. It was a much bigger prize, a much bigger crowd. It was my first time standing in front of such a large crowd. Those people, they kept quiet. Everyone looked at me. There are lights, there are cameras. I'm just this young boy from Limpopo standing right in front of people, young, old. But you know what? We pulled it through. I'm talking about the business that I know. I'm talking about the business that from where it started, I was there. So we pulled it through another 3 minutes, and I was happy when we were declared, like we were chosen as the winners of the 25,000.
Awesome.
Like, we can't believe we just pulled this through. Yes.
Awesome. So you were chosen as the winner of Gauteng or Centurion, and you won 25,000 rand. And you went head to head with the winner of Limpopo and the winner of Mpumalanga, because we had to bring them to Centurion, and you went head to head with them, and you emerged the winner of 75,000 rand. What does it feel like, or what did it feel like to win 75,000 rand in a pitching competition?
It was a very emotional moment for me. I mean, if I can share this with you, in July that last year, I lost my brother, the one I started the Smooth Life with.
Oh, the one that introduced you to Smooth Life.
It was just 4 months.
Oh, no.
It was such a very emotional day for me. I was crying inside, but I didn't want people to see that I'm crying inside. But it was such a very wonderful moment. It also shows that, you know what, there are people who will believe in you out there.
Absolutely.
They don't care where you come from. They don't care about your background. They don't care about your height, your looks. They just care about what is coming out of your mouth.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm going to come back to you. Also, Tolani, I'll come back to you. We have Selena in our midst. Unfortunately, due to some technical issues, she joined us late. But Selena, I would believe you're the one that is dialing in. Could you please, let me see. Okay, I'm going to unmute you. And let's hear from Selena. Selena, can you unmute yourself? Great. Am I speaking to Selena?
Yes, you're speaking to Selena. Hi, Sam.
Oh, hi. Guys, if you've noticed that I was a little bit distracted during the conversation, I was trying to get Selena to come on board. And the reason why I have to make sure that I get her to truly connect, and she's dialing in now, is because I don't want the public or you that are here to think, 67 CEO is giving opportunities to men only, because I obviously, as you can see, Kalani and and Katsu and myself, so it's not a men affair, so 67 CEO is a transformed organization. Thank you very much, Selena. Please, Selena, tell us about yourself, your background, and how you get to start your own business as an entrepreneur.
Well, Sam, okay, my name is Selena Mondlane. I grew up in Middleburg, Mpumalanga. So as I grew up, I always knew I wanted to be a businesswoman, but when I entered my teenage years, I'd say my teachers changed my mind. You know, being the top learner at school, they'll tell you, you know what, you need to go to varsity, you need to be an accountant, you're really good in business, you're really good in that. So I changed my mind. But when I finished school, having tried varsity, it didn't work out for me. So when I came back, I told my friends, you know what, I have a business idea. Who's in? This is what we're going to do. And they were in. So that's how we started. But when we started, we were so clueless about what we started. So as time went on, we actually got Matilda Shokhole, who is now our marketing director. We got her on board so she could give us more insight into this industry that we entered into, which is marketing. So that's how we started as a company, as into Tugo Promotions and Marketing. As we went on, so that's how we got to learn the skills. That's how we got to specialize in what we specialize in now, which is research.
Interesting. And tell me, have you done any business before this particular one?
No, this is my first one.
This is your first one. How? When did you start? Which year did you start? Or what year did you start?
We started in 2017.
2017. So it's 3 years now.
Yes.
And
we're going to 4 in May.
We're going to 4 in May 2021.
Yes.
Now, how did you get to hear or know about 67 CEOs?
I found out about it through Mahlodi Khatle. So our marketing director has her on the contact list. So they attended the same varsity, and so she's on the contact list. So when she posted the video about 67 CEOs the first time, that's how we became aware of the competition.
So you were part of the, so you entered the Mega Pitch Fest competition that 67 CEOs held during the height of COVID-19 in June, July. And you pitched your business because it was purely a pitching competition that would award 5,000 Rand cash to the winners, and then a website or marketing tool in the amount of 5,000 Rand. When you were informed that you won the 5,000 Rand, how did it feel?
It actually became unreal. It became real the day before we actually found out that we won, because as I've told you before, we were celebrating the day before. We were just dancing and just praising God, like, thank you, Lord. And then when the news actually came, we had no words. We were finished celebrating.
Wow.
We were done.
because you are a believer, you engage your faith, even though you put your business out there, and that's also carry you through. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it did. It really did.
And what is the impact of the 5,000 Rand that you won? What is the impact of that in your business? What did you do with the money?
Okay. Firstly, the website that you guys designed for us is amazing.
Thank you.
So what it's done for us is it's gotten more customers into our business. So it's given us that credibility that we didn't have before.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So whenever we refer customers to our website, they come back to us and go, wow, that's great. I want to do business with you guys.
Wow.
And then as for the cash prize, as I mentioned before, we bought our equipment. We were able to buy a new computer. We were able to update our design software, and it is amazing. Our work quality is so high now, and it's amazing.
Wow. So tell me, guys, permit me to stay with Selena a little bit, if you can. Before the 5,000 Rand cash, which you use in purchasing equipment, and also having a website. Now, before that, what are some of the challenges that you were facing in your business that these two things, cash and the website, have been able to solve in your business? What are the challenges and how did these two things solve them?
We actually had a challenge of finding a website designer, because we found previous designers before, but what would happen is we would be with them, would pay them to do the website, but then it wouldn't stay online every month. So it would go down, it would constantly give us trouble. And then another thing is we had a shortage of equipment. We couldn't work as much as we needed to. So we had a lot of clients, but we couldn't service them as quickly as we would have liked because of the shortage of equipment. So we'd have to exchange using the same computer, and that's all sorted now.
Wow. So having a second laptop increases your efficiency.
Yes.
And also having a website gives your company credibility.
Yes, it does. It does. A website that stays on the whole month.
Interesting. I am going to go to Polani right now. Polani, unmute your microphone. Unmute your microphone and
yes, sir.
Tell me, what have you learned, because you are part of the beneficiaries of the mentorship program. So Katu is the beneficiary of the pitching competition in 2019 Global Entrepreneurship Week organized by 67 CEOs. Polani, you are the beneficiary of the 67 CEOs mentorship program for 6 months, which started in August 2020. And as you guys heard from Selena, she's one of the beneficiaries of the Mega Pitch Fest, the 67 CEOs COVID-19 Relief Fund in June, July. What have you learned so far, Polani, during the mentorship program or since the mentorship program started?
Okay, Sam, I remember I also pitched for the Mega Pitch.
Oh, by the way, you did.
yes. And I think I was the first guy to drop my entry before everyone else did.
That's true.
Sam, I thought that I knew everything. I thought that I had the whole thing like I knew everything. But then after me not winning on that day, it made me realize I somehow thought, Sam as well as Machori, they didn't like me and stuff like that. But to quite honestly, you didn't know who I was. Decline me just like that for no reason. You understand? So from then, after winning the to be part of the program, from then onwards, I then rectify most of the mistakes that I made, because throughout those sessions that we had, we actually, my business was all over the place. I know my baby, I know my business, I know what I'm doing. But now the picture was not clear because of the puzzles. They were still missing. So being part of that program, I got to understand how to actually articulate and put everything into place and make it one big, great picture for everyone to see. I now know how to align my business. I even know how to actually handle myself, because there's a manner that a businessman should actually present themselves, of which there were things that I was not aware to say. And at times, and also right now, even if I were to drop my pitch today, definitely I believe that it would be way better than it was the first time around. But unfortunately, I'm from Gauteng, so I do not qualify. But I've learned a lot, and also especially with Dineo. I'm going to emphasize this with Dineo. We carry these huge bags on our bags, and they are huge on us. And so they also reflect on the business. We carry stuff, and I mean you are the business. If you're not feeling well, if you're undergoing through bad things in your life, they somehow affect your business. If you do not know how to handle yourself, the character, then your business will fall. You might have like the best module, you might have the best everything working according, but if you do not know how to handle yourself, then your business will fall eventually. Not because of you failing to run your business, but because of the principle, your principle, or how you actually present yourself in public. It has a huge image on you, especially us as DJs, because we're gonna go out, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. So like I've learned a lot, and as to transferring myself from how I used to see things and how I do things now. And also a lot of things, man, a lot of things. Like I now know, I think around about next year, I'm gonna start everything all over, because now like we have been out of business since March up until now. So the government might open up on some of the things that we do. And so by then I'm gonna be fit enough, and there is great competition around me. And I've been struggling on how to actually bring competition to them, because my business suffered a lot of things after like the same guy started doing the same things that I'm doing right now. But now I feel good now. I'm still in the game. I'm back in the game, and I'm gonna compete.
Wow.
And, everything will go up.
I like the sound of that. I like the sound of I'm back in the game. You know, I like the sound of that, and that breeds confidence. And I just want to highlight a few things that you said for the understanding of the entrepreneurs that have joined us. The way the 67 CEOs program was structured is I am the one that is taking the business model canvas. Matlodi, which you guys are familiar with, you're familiar with her now. She does the communication and the pitching. She's the coach or the mentor for communication and pitching, articulation and all of that. And the third mentor is Dinayo Molokwane. Most of you should know her. She's a great author. She's a great transformation coach. So she deals with things that have to do with the mind, because as an entrepreneur, your mind is critical. Your mind is critical. What goes into your mind, what comes out of your mind, it's very critical. So if your mind is not straightened up, or your mind is not right, it will definitely impact on your business negatively. So that's how the 7 CEO program is mentorship program is structured. We deal with business, we deal with communication, and we deal with also the mind, so that you can align yourself. No, thank you very much for that. Let's say, Katu, are you there?
Yes, Sam.
Okay, so Katu, you were the winner of 67 CEOs Global Entrepreneurship Week 2019 in Centurion. You won 25,000. You are the winner, and you went head to head with the winner of Limpopo and Pumalanga. You then won 50,000 rand from the mini pitch fest, which has become mega pitch fest now. You won in total 75,000 rand. What did you do with the money?
We went on to, we bought equipment, which are the fridges. Like we promised, we bought a trailer, a branded trailer. We bought bottles. We bought labels for the bottles. And we also used some of the money to, I wanted an earlier meeting with you. We got a workshop. Unfortunately, COVID happened and we lost a bit of money out of that. But it really, really assisted us. We still have some of it in the bank. Like we even purchased a vehicle that we were gonna use to move things.
A bakkie.
Deliveries, it's a bakkie, yes. So, I mean, for us to have so much assets at such an early stage, it's I mean, that money assisted us, really put us somewhere else where we were not gonna be at. We are far, and we are grateful for the money that you guys gave us. And I want to promise you one thing: we are gonna invite you at our official launch.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Thank you.
I can't wait. No, congratulations, man. Congratulations. I'm going to go back to Selena. I'm going to go back to Selena, then we'll open it. I'll then hand over to Marang to take your question. I am humbled. Absolutely humbled. It's humbling for me to hear all these testimonials and the impact that 67 CEOs as an organization has been able to make in the life of small business owners. And truly, this is why we exist. And thank you so much, guys, for what you have done. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for the courage to start your businesses. Thank you for being part of what 67 CEOs is doing. And we can only hope and believe that it's only going to get better. Thank you very much. I hope you guys that are listening to us, you've been able to learn one or two things from that inspirational stories that they've shared, and also encourage also. And I should say this before I hand over finally to Marang. Those of you that are based in Limpopo and Mpumalanga, take the courage to pitch your business. You can hear how pitching have brought people to limelight or spotlight, and the impact of taking that courage. Thank you very much. Thanks, Marang.
I'm so glad you added that last part. The part of taking action is the thing. Otherwise, we are just sitting there with our dreams and all these plans and all these goals and whatever. But if we're not taking, things only happen when you've taken action and nowhere else. Gents and Selena in her absence, well done. Well done. Well done for staying in there. Xolani, in spite the COVID situation and the impact that it has in your business, I found it very encouraging just to hear you say, but I'm going to get back at it. Because this is not the end in no ways. If you have any questions for either one of them, please raise your hand. And then I will just get an opportunity to ask the particular question that you have. Ngwasheng, you are first up. I didn't even finish my sentence, but you are right there with your hand. Please unmute yourself and pose your question or statement.
Hi, guys. Thank you very much. I will be the first because I was very inspired. The journey of Khartoum, it seems like it's my journey. My question will be straightforward to him because I just want to know how will I fight this challenge of because of I'm manufacturing pepper sauce. I've got brand and bottling and everything back home, but my challenge is on sales. How to run and do sales and go forward with this thing of process of testing thing of compliance, because of it's very challenging when you sell for individuals one stuff. I just want to get knowledge and some advice of doing sales with that stage. Thank you.
I don't know if you were part of the session when Vusi presented on Tuesday, but one of the things that he said, and I think this is something that people don't take quite seriously or undermine, is the use of something like the Tupperware model, the Herbalife model. So where you get other people to become your distributors on your behalf, that also amplifies your sales a lot quicker. And this is something that we need to use, especially when we are having products that could potentially end up in the retail or need to be bought in bulk or in masses, you start creating salespeople and you offer them an opportunity to be your agents. So they buy in bulk from you and they sell in whatever location that they are in to their respective audiences. It's a great way to grow a team. Smooth K, are you back with us?
Yes, I'm back. My apologies. I was saying you just have to sell to anyone who you meet on the street, talk to people. Some will like your product, some won't. It's not a train smash. But there are people out there who will say yes to your product. That's it. It's not easy. I mean, there are people who are gonna just tell you, I'm not interested. But the only way to tap into the market is you have to start somewhere. Approach people. I mean, if you're selling I think you said a pepper sauce, something like that, I would go to Shisanyamas. I mean, there's meat, there's people eating already. I will ask the people to try my sauce there.
That's good advice.
Thank you.
Mwasheng, did that help you? I hope so. You've disappeared there. Okay, next person. Refilo has a question.
My question goes to the DJ, the producer.
Olani.
Yes, Olani. Sorry, I wasn't getting the names. You mentioned that when you started, you were all over the place and you knew your craft, but you were not sure of the business side of it. How did you go on about it? Because I also know I'm a designer, I'm a graphic designer. I know my craft, but when it comes to business side, I kind of struggle there and there. So how did you overcome that, and what were your daily steps that you took every day to actually be where you're at?
Hello, Refilo, how are you?
Good, and you?
I'm okay, thanks. Throughout the sessions that we've been having with Sam, some of the ways, some of the channels that we had to do, and also the segment of finding my target market, because there's a lot of music out there, but finding my target, because I cannot actually, you cannot all love me. I just need that certain group, and then I take that certain group, I take along with it. And also channeling it, it's also very important to just know how to channel, how to actually engage with your clients. Once you have that smaller group, you engage with them. You keep the remaining ones while you're also trying to reach out for the other audience.
Okay, but that's the business side of it, though, because I'm talking about more like when you have to do your admin, where you wear all your heads, because I can get a client, design and send stuff, but I still need to do my bookkeeping. I still need to do 1, 2, 3 and keep the money in the business. How are you doing that basically in your day-to-day? That's what I'm asking.
The thing is, time management is very, very important.
Okay.
I always thought that I have the time. If I'm always relaxed and doing this and that, but with this little bit of smaller time, try to do this, and then when you get another time again, try to balance this from that. And it's okay if, let's say, you have other stuff that you do not know, get someone else who can do it. Like me, for bookkeeping, I'm a DJ. All I'm good at is something that is within. So as I'm going to grow, I'm going to have people who are going to be doing my accounting, who are going to be doing my books and auditing and stuff like that. Because right now I'm still small. I'm trying to balance out and having I'm a cash flows, etc., and things like that. I'm really trying, but I'm also not good and I'm not perfect and I'm still learning. It's a long way. Time management.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. I am inspired, though. You don't sound small to me.
Okay, thanks.
So out of curiosity, right, how are we planning our days? I think what Olana is quite raising here in terms of managing our times and planning is important. When you look at your calendar, if you were to open your calendar right now, what does your day look like? Because I find that if you look at your calendar and it's completely empty, you're going to almost float and you do things ad hocly as and when you feel like it's coming up to your mind, as and when you remember, right? But if you actually use your calendar quite effectively, you can block out. I mean, people laugh at me, but I even have a section in my calendar that says social media, where it's like 30 minutes where I'm going to go onto social media, look at what what is happening on social media. But when that 30 minutes is over, then there is a slot there for something else, email. And when I'm not on email, everything else is closed on my laptop. Like all other tabs are closed. I am just focusing on that email. When I'm done with email, there's another thing. And what that does to you is, it actually builds that routine of planning and executing things, because as things are done, you can tick them off, right? Please block out all of these things. I mean, years ago, my husband found out that I even block out date night in our calendar. And he thinks that it's not about that. It really is not about that. It's just consciously, I am very aware of what needs to happen throughout my work day. Bookkeeping, all of these other small little things that we really don't like. You need the right tools for you that will actually just make life a lot simpler. And B, if you have planned out your day, like I promise you, if you're looking at your calendar and it's empty right now, you're not planning properly. You're not as productive as you should be. But if your calendar has got slots for phone call, for meeting, for social media and whatever, I could even say go as far as saying loo break. But I actually even have one that says, I used to have one that says, take a nap. Like when my schedule is too busy, I have to have a slot in my calendar that says, take a nap, because that nap is what's going to refresh my mental state for the next task. Right. Are there any more questions for either speakers? Is there anything that, if there's no questions for our specific speakers, throw in a question and let's use the opportunity to help you with whatever it is that you may be struggling with otherwise, right? This is our last day of hard work. Tomorrow we want to announce winners and whatever else. You're going to spend the weekend actually putting things into action from everything that you've learned this week. If you haven't had time to implement every single day, this weekend is the weekend that you're sitting to say, this is what I must do in my business. So that next week you are implementing on the go, right? And making things happen. I really would not like to meet you in December and then say, hey, but you were at our 67 CEOs. What has happened since? And then you're telling me, I'm still struggling with that thing. I'm going to be mad and it's not going to be pretty. Lorian, how do I help you, ma'am?
Good morning, everyone. I've been having major issues with my technology, so I've been on and off. So there was a question I wanted to ask Hlubi, but I didn't get a chance to because I was going off. So what I did was, when I took my business digitally, I also started recruiting agents. And when these agents, the problem that I have and the challenge is that they don't have the drive that I have. So how do I get them to do that?
Look, the long and the short thing is that if people are not productive in your environment, it is always boils down to their motivation to even participate in this thing. Without the right motivation to be part of any if you're not aligned in terms of your motivation or the end goal of what you're trying to achieve, it falls flat. And if I were to use even my engagement with Sam here, right? We work for different organizations, we're doing different things, but the one thing that Sam and I have in common is our passion for entrepreneurship and developing entrepreneurship, right? So for us to work together, it's actually very easy. I don't struggle when I work with Sam. And it's beyond his own work ethic or mind. It really just boils down to, what are we trying to execute? And Sam and I get excited about the same stuff. That's what makes life easy for us to work together. Other than that, probably would have been a once-off gig, never again, and forgotten about each other.
That's absolutely
true. So I guess on my part, what I should be doing is maybe establish their total interest and motivation to come on par and to buy into the vision. Firstly, before, because I think what the mistake that I'm making is that I'm letting them take my products and go out there, and they're not reaching the levels that I reach, and hence they're getting demotivated. But I think if I first establish that they establish their buy into the vision and their motivation to take it where to take it further. And then, I mean, that would show someone that is serious and someone that really is with me.
That's true. Let me come in
here. It is
here.
very important. Sorry, Sam.
No. May I come in, Marang?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Lauren. These agents, what are they doing for you? Are they your business partner or salespeople?
No, they just salespeople. They're just taking the product. So what I've done is I've recruited them in order to extend my range, because obviously the people that you have on your social media and on your network is a whole another database or a whole another client base that I don't have access to.
I see. So you recruit them as a sales agent?
Yes.
And what kind of contracts, quote and unquote, or what kind of paperwork do you have with them?
So there's no specific paperwork that I've implemented as yet. I just recruit them. They don't also pay any joining fees or anything. They just start to sell and put the products out there. And for any sales that they generate, so it's basically for acquisition. It's basically new business development, and anything they then earn an income from that. So it's mostly guys that are not employed that are seeking to earn an income and earn a living. And that is what I'm doing to empower them, because the profit is not a lot, but still I'm willing to share it in order to empower others. And by doing so, I extend my range and grow my business.
I see.
Lauren, can I do you a favor? Sorry, Sam, can I do a favor? Because you've got the same problem that someone raised on Monday. And I'm going to do what I did for them, right? I'm going to actually give you a ticket to come to the session that we are having next week, because this is exactly what we're talking about. We are talking about teams and how to get teams to be productive. Because so it's one thing, and Sam is asking very important questions about the paperwork and whatever else, but that stuff doesn't produce productivity. It actually just manages risk more than anything, right? But in terms of actually, there's a way to choose the right people to work with. And actually getting them to commit, because if those people don't have their own targets, if they don't have their own motivation for why they're joining in this business, why they believe in working for this particular business, it falls flat. You've got people who are workers you need to be working with people that have got an entrepreneurial mindset about doing business and not people that have got a mindset that says, I've got a job, my salary is going to come.
Because really it's not even about the product. It's about applying your business skills, your business ethics in order to make it work.
Yeah. Send me your email address in the chat, and then I will send you a ticket for the session next week. If you're available to join, I can help you unpack some of these things, because for me, it's quite important, because these are the things that discourage us from creating employment. You know, where you have opportunities to employ people, it stops because we just don't have, we're not employing right. And all these kind of failures discourage us.
100% correct.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Guys, there's the poll that has, awesome. Thanks, Lauren. There's a poll that has come up. As per usual, we'd like to find out where you are connecting with us from. While that poll is still going on, we really, really do need everyone to just vote in. So it's a quick exercise. It just won't even take you a minute to do this. Matume, can I come over to you? What is your question or comment?
Hi, Marang, and hi to Sam, to Kolani, Katu, and all the entrepreneurs. My highlight of the week was when Mr. Yokuzuchi was talking about bottling our business idea as Africans. Then I realized that it's a challenge that we are all of us facing, and even I'm a victim of that, but I was learning to let it to be loose so that I can allow others to join in so that we can do business together. And it's the same thing that was highlighted by Tolani when he was talking about other people who are mushrooming into the industry, copying what he's doing. So it's the same thing that I learned, because I think it was in 2019 when I was doing my business. When I ran out of stock, I couldn't operate because I didn't have resources. So when I ran out of stock, I couldn't operate. So the people that were copying what I was doing, they were nowhere as well. So I realized that those people are just there to intimidate you. If you stop, they stop. So the best way that I learned is to learn to be loose, and so that you can share with the team members and keep going no matter how hard it is. And thank you so much for that.
Awesome. I'm so glad that you actually mentioned it as a highlight for the week. That is one thing that we haven't asked you quite a lot of. So highlights, if you have highlights from the week, I would definitely love to hear from you too. Let's give you an opportunity. Where is Kumbuzo?
Morning, how are you?
Good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm super good, hey. Like this week for me has been very motivational. I've learned so much to improve my business. I'm in the waste collection industry. Like it started as an idea, seeing how people are struggling to dump their waste, pushing barrows, and I decided, no, let me come up with a solution to help them out. So we started with the barrow. We moved from a barrow to a smaller baggie. So currently now we are using it's not even that much, but it's a long base baggie collecting the waste every Friday. We're charging them 15 Rand per collection. And so the challenge is that I've come across, it's only this week that I've seen solutions from the group that we had, from the sessions that we had. It was very inspiring for me. So I'm grateful for all that we had. So we having few challenges. Yeah, but the challenges that we're having, so there's a struggle, sell land, because what we do now, it's almost like we're also doing the same thing. We're dumping our waste into a legal dumping site. So what we want to do, we want to get a portion of a land, even if we borrow it from the municipality, sort out the waste that we collect and take them for recycling. Now there's this idea that we came up with, the new research that we found, where we can use the remaining of the waste. We call them the sludge, that it cannot be recycled, you cannot do anything with it. But we've come up with an idea, we can use the very same sludge, convert it into manure. So it's called vermicomposting, where you convert the sludge, you buy the ringler worm. And it's fun because it's been years that we've used the ringler worm to go fishing and all that. But to discover, you can make so much with it. The very same worms eat up the waste, and the end product of it, it's the manure. It's a very powerful manure. It's for organic purposes. We also sell beans. So from Mr. Smoothies, I learned something good. In our department, in our sector, I'm selling things to people that I don't have. I don't have wheelie beans that they want. I don't have refuse bag that they want. But I go in and tell them, no, I have them. And they ask me how much. I give them the price. They say, we're going to pay. Now the challenge is here. They're only going to pay when I make the deliveries. So now I have to go somewhere else, borrow the money, go buy the bean, bring it back. And so that's the struggle that we come across. But everything is being sorted out now. I've learned a lot, and I'm on fire. I'm
ready.
Yes.
No, sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, okay. No, like I'm saying,
like you're saying?
Like I'm ready for the pitch. I'm just ready for everything.
Jovicho, I'm ready for the pitch. That was my highlight of your statement right there.
I'm ready.
Like, excitement.
Yeah, Pezul.
Yeah, Pezulu put. Where are you operating from, Skumbuzo?
I'm in Siabuswa, in Mpumalanga.
Jovicho, so your pitch must be on point.
It has to be on point.
It has to be on point. Awesome. Good job. Yeah. Good luck, with the pitch. I'm going to look out for it.
Thank you.
And if it's not there, I am going to call you. I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you and be like, you're disappointing me.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Someone is joined us from Swaziland.
I saw we're international.
Could you engage with the person, Balobile?
Bahlobile.
I'm sorry if I messed up the name.
Bahlobile, it's okay, Sam. It's okay. We are getting there. Bahlobile, okay. Bahlobile, if you can put on your microphone, dialing in from Swaziland. Oh, she's at work, so she's not able to do that.
Fine.
Okay.
That's okay. Thank you for joining us.
Komoto, you're back. You have raised your hand once again. What is your comment, your input? Exciting news?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry for that.
No worries.
Yes. How are you, Marang and Sam and everybody?
I'm in one pieces, my girl. I'm in one pieces.
Okay. It seems we have the issue of network here. Okay, I'm in Limpopo province. My company is the House of Bonneted Clothing. Okay. We are producing or we are manufacturing clothing, more especially the school uniform and for the health workers. But what I want to do exactly is the issue of standardization. You know, if you produce clothing, sometimes when you take your clothing to the people to fit them, you find that they don't fit properly. So, but now, how is it that you can help us so that the SAB, I don't know if it's the SABS, for the clothing that we produce, that they are standardized uniform or standardized type of uniforms? That is my question.
When you mean standardized, is this standardized in the way that you're manufacturing the uniform? Okay, Sam has a response for you. Maybe he understood better what it was.
Thank you very much, Marang. So, Komoto, what I would do is I'm going to share the contact of the facilitator from SABS during Global Entrepreneurship Week 2019. We had a facilitator that went to Limpopo, Lepalale, Limpopo, specifically Marafleni, Malanga, and she also did a masterclass in Centurion, Gauteng. So I'm going to share our contact details with you. Then you can engage with her directly. She works for SABS, and she'll be able to advise you accordingly. Thank you.
Yay! Okay, we have run out of time for today's session. We were scheduled to finish off at 11 o'clock, and we've just 5 minutes over. Sam,
yes,
I've had a good week. I've had an exciting week.
Thank you.
I have had a very encouraging week, and it's encouraging because there are people that are still out there fighting for their businesses at a time when we have been shook, we have been somewhat despondent, somewhat despondent and stuff. But it's exciting for me to see that our spirit as entrepreneurs is still alive. It's alive, and it's growing more than anything. I would like, and just to reiterate what Ruby was saying the other day, right? We have to make it. We don't have a choice. We have to apply ourselves in making sure that it happens. I'm grateful for you to giving me the opportunity to work with you once again. As usual, it's always a lot of fun to work with you, and it's always exciting and impactful. To everyone that has joined, power to you, excitement, and I wish you all of the best in your journeys going forward. Those that are going to pitch, please remember to have everything done by 4 p.m. this afternoon. Make sure that you tag at 67 CEOs. If you're struggling to tag, you literally need to put that @ in front of 67 CEOs, whatever social media you're using, in order to be able to tag them. So make sure that the tags are there. Hashtag 67 CEOs GEW 2020. Hashtag powering possibilities. Sam, I'm going to hand over to you for your parting shots. And we must go back to business to make money.
Yes, we must make money. Thank you very much, Marang. It's been an honor knowing you and working with you since inception, since 67 CEO started in 2017. You've been around and participate in one or two or a lot or most of our programs, as you say. Thank you very much. You've been adding value, and thank God, and I'm grateful that your contributions also have been part of how we got here. So the entrepreneurs that are here, thank you so much. For those that have joined us or that have been part of the program since Monday, thank you for your consistency. Thank you for your consistency. Thank you so much. And my belief, with what some of you have shared, my belief is that you have learned a lot and you are ready to implement those things in your business. Before I carry on, President Cyril Ramaphosa announced the South Africa National Mourning Day, which commemorates or honor those that have lost their lives to COVID-19, and also those that are victims of the gender-based violence. Guys, I would encourage that you participate. It starts on the 24th of November. I think it ends towards the end of the month. I think 29 thereabout. So, guys, participate in that and wear some form of attire that symbolizes your solidarity in the South Africa National Mourning Day. And on the gender-based violence, I would like to also use this opportunity and this platform to say to the men that are amongst us that we have to act different. We have to behave well amongst our female counterpart, either in relationship or otherwise, so that the perpetuation of this gender-based violence can be a thing of the past. Let's treat our women right, guys. So again, we're very grateful that you're part of this. I'm going to also plead, because it looks like we have to be pleading now to the SMMEs in Limpopo and Mpumalanga. We had expect that by now you would have submitted your pitches in numbers, but the entries that we have is too low. It's too low compared to the poll, the numbers that we have according to the poll. So you can see why we would take the poll, so that we can judge or kind of like gauge or measure the number of people that are represented in Limpopo and in Mpumalanga. So guys, submit your pitch. If you don't submit your pitch, you will give the Gauteng, and these Gauteng guys are hungry. We're just going to give them opportunity to take.
Not just hungry, but also very aggressive.
Very, very aggressive. And, they are also in numbers, as you would have noticed during the poll. So again, please submit your pitch and use the hashtag and tag 67 CEOs. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you so much. We wish you well in your business, and we wish you well in 2021. We believe it's going to be a better year, both in your personal life and in your business. And to the team that have made this happen, thank you very much. Thank you, Matrodi. And my wife also, Zanele Apata, in absentia. She's been doing a great job when it comes to editing and publishing the videos. And to our partner, Exaro Resources, thank you so much. Thank you very much. You are truly powering possibility for SMMEs in South Africa. 67 CEOs mantra is inspiring possibility thinking. Exaro's motto or mantra is powering possibility. And these two mission statements, they've come together to become indeed action that we are living in the lives of SMMEs in South Africa and across Africa. Matlodi, is there anything you would like to say before we end the meeting?
Sam, you and Marang have taken all the words out of my mouth. I am speechless. I am gobsmacked at the impact that this program is having on entrepreneurs. And I'm hopeful that the pitches that we receive will be aligned to everything that was taught this week. So I'm excited to see the pitches. Thank you, everyone.
Great. Guys, it's time to switch on your microphone and your video. as we say goodbye. And thank you so much, Katu, for sharing your story. Thank you, Kolanis, for sharing your story. Thank you, Selena in absentia, for sharing your story. Wow, beautiful faces, beautiful faces. It's good to put the face to the names. Wow, 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 wow.
Yes,
Katu.
Yesterday we did a pitch at Trigger, and I just got an email now confirming that we're moving to the next round. And,
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
You shouldn't tell us these things, Smooth K. Next thing we're at your door.
Wow.
I'll give you smoothies.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Smooth K, while we're on that, how does one get your smoothies? Because I'm quite keen to try them out, actually.
I need to detox.
Marang, you just name the place and I deliver to you.
Chovito.
Yes.
Same as my content details.
Why? As this stupid host always.
Nugget don't pimp, boss. After I get them, I'm pimping. I'm going. Let's do this. Guys, it was great.
Guys, we'll see you in 2021. And
good luck to Limpopo and Mpumalanga. Cheers.
Let's go smoothie to send us all a smoothie each.
Merry Christmas. To those that won't see, Merry Christmas in advance. Merry Christmas in advance and Happy New Year in advance. God bless you.
Sure.
Let's smoothie.
Bye.